Welcome to CBTV.
Second body, the Buddha body. Having a human body means you also have a Buddha body. The word Buddha means someone who is awakened and who is working for the awakening of other beings. Buddha body is just a shorthand way of describing your capacity to be awake and fully present, to be understanding, compassionate, and loving. You don't need to know or use the word Buddha to have a Buddha body. You don't have to believe in anything, not even the Buddha. The Buddha Sakyamuni was not a god. He was a human being with a human body, and he lived in such a way that his Buddha body could grow. Every human being can become a Buddha. This is good news. We all have the seeds of mindfulness, love, understanding, and compassion. And whether these good seeds have a chance to grow depends on our environment and our experiences. Don't doubt that you have a Buddha body. There have been times in the past when you had the capacity to understand, to forgive, and to love. These are the seeds of your Buddha body. You have to give the Buddha in you a chance. Allowing the Buddha in you to grow doesn't require special effort. If you wake up to the beauties of nature, you are already a Buddha. And if you know how to maintain the spirit of being awake all day, you are a full-time Buddha. It's not so difficult to be a Buddha. Just keep your awakening alive all day long. We are all capable of drinking our tea in mindfulness. Everyone of us can breathe, walk, shower, and eat in mindfulness. Every one of us can wash the dishes in mindfulness. Every one of us can speak and listen with compassion. The more you water the seeds of mindfulness, concentration, insight, and love in you, the more your Buddha body will grow, and the happier and freer you'll become. Whatever your livelihood is, whether you're a teacher, an artist, a social worker, or a business person, we can participate in the work of a Buddha, helping to nurture enlightenment and awakening and to bring positive change to the world. When we can be fully present and get in touch with the wonders of life that have the power to heal and nourish us, we will have enough strength to help others suffer less. Someone who has not woken up cannot help another person to wake up. A non-Buddha cannot make another Buddha. To be a Buddha, to wake up, also means to wake up to the suffering in the world and find ways to bring relief and transformation. This requires a tremendous source of energy. Your strong aspiration, your mind of love, is that immense source of energy that helps wake you up in the nourishing and healing beauty of nature and to the suffering of the world. It gives you a lot of energy to help. This is the career of a Buddha. And if you have that source of strength in you, if you have the mind of love, you are a Buddha in action. Third body, the spiritual practice body. Our spiritual practice body grows from our Buddha body. Spiritual practice is the art of knowing how to generate happiness and handle suffering. Just as a gardener knows how to make good use of mud in order to grow lotus flowers, spiritual practice is what helps you to overcome challenging and difficult moments. It is the art of stopping and looking deeply to gain deeper insight. It is very concrete. We cultivate our spiritual practice body, which we can also call our Dharma body, by cultivating the seeds of awakening and mindfulness in our daily life. The more solid our spiritual bodies becomes, the happier we will be and the more we are able to help those around us be happier and suffer less. We all need a spiritual dimension in our life. It is up to each one of us to develop a strong spiritual practice body every day. Every time you take one peaceful step or one mindful breath, your spiritual practice grows. Every time you embrace a strong emotion with mindfulness and restore your clarity and calm, it grows. Then, in difficult moments, your spiritual practice body will be right there with you when you need it. And it is there with you at the airport, in the supermarket, or at work. People can steal your phone, computer, or money, but they can never steal your spiritual practice. It is always there to protect and nourish you. In the time of the Buddha, there was a monk named Vaikali, who has been one of the Buddha's attendants. It so happened that Vaikali was overly fond of the Buddha, and when the Buddha noticed this, he didn't allow Vaikali to be his attendant anymore. This was very painful for Vaikali and he suffered very much. He even attempted suicide. Vaikali was attached to the Buddha human body, but the practice and teachings he was able to grow and transform and deepen his understanding of true love. Then one day, when the Buddha was staying at Rajagrita, the capital of an ancient kingdom in northwest India, he got word that Vakali was very sick and dying. At this time, the Buddha himself was also nearing his own death, but he walked down from Vulture Peak when he had been staying and went to visit Vaikali at the house of a potter. The Buddha wanted to speak to Vaikali to see if he was free and ready to release his body without fear. And so he asked, "Dear friend, do you have any regrets?" "No, dear teacher, I have no regrets," replied Vaikali, "except one, that I'm so sick that I can no longer climb a mountain to contemplate you sitting on Vulture Peak." There was still some attachment. "Vaikali, come on," exclaimed the Buddha. "You already have your Dhamma body. You don't need my human body. What we have learned from our teachers is far more important than their physical presence. Our teachers have transmitted to us the fruit of all these wisdoms and experience." The Buddhas were trying to tell Vakali that he should look for the teacher within, not the teachers outside. Our teachers are there within us. What more could we want? My physical body may not last very long, but I know that my spiritual practice body, my Dhamma body, is strong enough to continue for a very long time. It has helped me through so much. If it were not for my Dhamma body, if it were not for my practice of mindfulness, I would never have been able to overcome the great difficulties, pain, and despair I have faced in my life. I have endured wars and violence, my country was divided, my society and Buddhist community were worlds apart, and we encountered so much discrimination, hatred, and despair. It is thanks to my Dhamma body that I have been able to survive, and not only survive but overcome all the difficulties and grow and transform through them. I do my best to transmit every practice experience I've had to my students. My Dharma body is the best gift I have to offer. It is the body of all the spiritual practices and insights that have brought me healing, transformation, happiness, and freedom. I trust that all my friends and students will receive my spiritual practice body and nourish it even further for the sake of future generations. We need to practice well and to continue to help our spiritual practice body grow and become more and more appropriate to our time. Fourth body, the community body. In the 1966, I was exiled from Vietnam because I had dared to come to the West and call for peace. I felt like a bee removed from its beehive, or like a cell suddenly separated from the body. I was cut off from all my colleagues and friends in Vietnam who were doing their best to continue our vital social work and educational programs without me. It was a very difficult and painful time, but the practice of mindfulness helped me to heal, and I began to find ways to build a community outside Vietnam. When I met with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for the last time, a year later, we spoke about our dreams of building community. He called it the beloved community. A beloved community is a community of people who share the same aspiration and want to support each other to realize that aspiration. If we want to grow on our spiritual path, we need a community and spiritual friend to support and nourish us. And in return, we support and nourish them, like cells in the same body, on our own. Without a community, we cannot do much. We need a community of like minded friends and colleagues to help us realize our deepest dreams. It is possible to transform not only our home, but also our work, school, corporation, and hospital into a beloved community, into a kind of family where there's love, understanding, and true communication. We start with a few colleagues who have the same aspiration, and we build up from there. Four people is enough, five is good, and more than five is excellent. The key elements in a beloved communities are love, trust, joy, harmony, and brotherhood and sisterhood. When we can generate understanding and compassion in our way of being and working together, everyone we interact with feels that energy right away and is able to profit from it. We can create moments to listen deeply to one another's insights and difficulties, or a relaxing moment with tea and cookies where we take time just to be fully present for each other. Our community can become a source of support and a place of refuge for many people. We nourish our communities in our lifetime, and it carries us forward into the future.